You're in my dreams. This is a dream come true, finding the perfect words to sing to you. Here in my dreams, everything plays out exactly how I want them to. Everything turns out dope, right here in my dreams. Greetings, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter. These aspects in Vedic sidereal. Check the description box here. Click the Vedic sidereal chart to get your chart on there. You can also look at your Western astrology, but you guys, I've always heard it that Vedic is more the engine and its parts internally, because Vedic is where the planets actually were in the sky. If you actually looked at a map of the planets where they were in the sky when you were born, then they wouldn't be. Like if you're born on March 3rd, you would realize that the sun was actually in Aquarius, not in Pisces. You're actually an Aquarius sun. So just give that a check. Anywho, In My Dreams by Kid Cudi. So some of my Aries are definitely dreaming about someone. You are having dreams about someone, or they're dreaming about you. You guys are definitely dreaming about each other. There are dreams going on here. However, the overall energy of the reading, Aries, is 5 of Arrows, which is all about conflict. And again, 5s. I will say I just finished Pisces reading. They had a lot of 5s as well, which is all about challenge and change before you come into the balance and the harmony and the working together, the service, the servitude, the volunteering, the working together, the yin and yang of the 6s. So something needs to be worked out here. 5 of Arrows is all about communication. There's struggle, there's not communication. I feel like Aries, you and whoever you're dealing with are both at a stalemate. They're just not talking. He's ignoring her. She is carrying the arrows. So like she's holding the arrows and he's like flying the other way. This is also represented by Cupid and Psyche, and their love relationship was very interesting. She had to go through a bunch of trials and tribulations before they could actually be together, and she eventually was made immortal, but she actually was a mortal human and Cupid was immortal. And his mom didn't want him with Psyche, so she actually put Psyche through a bunch of like torturous experiences that nearly killed Psyche, but she grew wiser, more courageous, and more wisdom with each one, and she still had so much love for Cupid that her love persevered, which I just think is kind of ridiculous that she put through so much sacrifice. But the point here is, Aries, there's a relationship here, there's a dynamic here that you sacrificed so much for them. And like, they didn't do that for you. There was a lot of sacrifice here. And that's why you feel entitled to be like Auric, your rune here, this bull, who's like, I'm not moving. He's like, you see that steam coming out of his nose? You see his eyes? He looks crazy. There's green all around him. His aura is blinding green. It's like this neon emerald. Emeralds would be a very powerful stone for you guys to work with. Also, moldavite would be a very powerful stone for you guys to work with. Also, malachite would be a very powerful stone. However, malachite is an amplifier, so just be very cautious and conscientious of the energy that you have whenever you are working with malachite, because it will amplify whatever it is you are working on. This is also reminiscent of the heart space, Aries. So for a lot of my Aries, you are grounding into your heart. You're growing into your heart in a very grounded space. You don't want fleeting arrows. You don't want chaos. You don't want tit for tat. You don't want chaos. You want something grounded, steady, and stable, and you will fight for that. Yours is a number 2, so you can see 222, lots of 2s. We have the hawk is also a number 2, and I'll read the animal cards in a moment. And for your horse oracle, we have centering. Aries, now may be the calm before the storm. Ooh. Listen for the guidance to find your center before the gates open to the next run of your journey, Aries. This is a time for deep, quiet reflection, a time for you to pause and gather yourself. Gather your center and your abundant strength, which we see depicted here in the Uriz rune. As the momentum is building for you and others gather around you, Spirit is asking you to stay calm at this juncture. Conserve all of your strength because you're going to need it, Aries. Find the patience and remain aware of everything around you. The gates will spread wide and a great space will be opening soon. Call upon all of your strength and all of your wits to guide you into your next destination, Aries. Your lessons learned so far will only serve you on your journey. New lessons will be presented and are already being presented. Temper your energy. Center yourself. Woo! So, this 5 of Arrows, if someone's like coming in here to try and like knock you off, because we do have porcupine. You're dealing with the porcupine. The porcupine came out first, and I was like, that's not Aries. I was like, this is someone in your energy field. That's a porcupine. You are the hawk, and there is an elk in reverse here. Aries, you could be the elk in reverse, but part of me is also feeling like the elk is someone else. It could be another Aries that you're dealing with. I definitely think the elk is a fire sign that's burnt out, but I feel like for a lot of you guys, the hawk is you, and the elk in reverse and the porcupine are who you're dealing with. However, some of you guys are also the elk. Some of you guys might be the porcupine. Cross-watcher? I don't know. Some of you guys might be the porcupine. We'll go those in a second. But what I'm feeling with this 5 of arrows and with the centering and Uriz, it's saying that there's going to be something here that's going to try and prick you. You're going to have triggers. You're going to have tests. Universe is always testing us. God, source energy is always testing us. With Uriz, this is all about the lower chakras. So you're going to be doing a lot of womb healing, sacral, solar plexus, and the root. So red, orange, and yellow would be wonderful colors for you guys to wear. Carnelian, ruby, flower agate, citrine, and calcite would be very powerful crystals for you guys to work with, Aries. Uriz is about the falling rain and building a primal strength. This is taking roots, working on your health, vitality, strength. So a lot of you guys are building your strength. Growing roots, being stubborn, clinging to the material, uprooting, wild cattle, mind over matter, matter over mind. This is about formation. All my ladies get information. I'm hearing that Beyonce song. This is about manifestation. This is about your life force being territorial. So are you being territorial, Aries, or is someone being territorial of you? This is about willpower, being independent and persistent. As we can see, Bull's very persistent there. Uncontrolled rage at times. This is brutality. So Aries, be cautious. Do not get pricked by the porcupine. This is about maintenance of your mental health and your physical health. This is about self-healing. So again, a lot of you guys, like Pisces, are in a state where you are going to start getting a steady exercise routine. You're going to start cooking more. You're going to be more conscientious of the food that you're putting in your body, less sweets, making sure that you're utilizing the energy that you're consuming, and you're just going to be taking care of yourself. This is about the rite of passage into adulthood and becoming a warrior. So this is all about the warrior archetype. So definitely a lot of you guys are going to be doing exercises that build strength. This is all about going against all odds and winning against all odds. This is about taking heed, wise guidance. Untamed power of creativity is not without danger. The user's skill and a practical technique is paramount to success. So your skill and your practical technique is paramount to the success. So Aries, whatever you do has to have a 2. It has to be balanced. Now 2s are also juggling. So you can't be juggling things here, because if you juggle things here, then it's going to be that uncontrolled, chaotic, scattered kind of energy thing. And then you're going to be pissed. You might lash out in some insensitive, uncontrolled rage, anger, stubbornness, and you don't want that. So let the 2 be about coming into balance. So for whatever you're doing to strengthen, also make sure that you are equalizing that with yoga, calming walks, you know, like relaxed dance, qigong, just doing things that bring balance and calmness, meditation, slacklining, things like that. This is all about sustaining a healthy ego, protecting your psyche from trauma, healing from trauma. Self-healing means it pulls diseased energy back to its origin. So this is about going deep within, pulling whatever you have been conditioned with, because we're all computer programs, really, Aries. This is about going deep inside your own computer and pulling out the viruses, the dis-ease, the things that disrupt your state of ease, but ease is your natural state, and Uric, the Uriz, is going to insist that you return back to that state. We see the green energy, your heart is healing here. This is all about a swift recovery. This is also pure sexual attraction. So Aries, there's definitely going to be a lot of chemistry in this month for you. This is all about the beastly power. Ooh, unchained, wild, hard to suppress. Definitely lots of passion here, Aries. So for some of my Aries, you guys are going to be getting it on for sure. This is nature's pure intentioned design, the inner king and queen within, stepping up, asserting your right to exist and be free, and your primal authority and authenticity, living passionately and free. This is about Thor and the hammer. Woo, leads to excess and extremes if not careful. So self-control is definitely important here, Aries. This is also giving you the advantage and sudden changes. Unexpected substantial financial gain. Flashing ascension. Never before seen leaps ahead of you. But some of you guys are definitely going to be getting substantial and unexpected financial gains. So that's awesome. This is all about that swift recovery. The bowl is bringing it in for you, Aries. I like that. But just be cautious of that imbalanced energy, that it doesn't go out of hand, that things don't get too crazy. Because then you got that 5 of Arrows energy, and you got that porcupine that's really trying to bump his nose in your business. So we're going to start out with the hawk, which I feel like is a lot of your energy. The hawk is akin to Mercury, which is the planet of communication. Naked. We have Naked by Spice Girls. She knows exactly what to do with men like you. Inside out in her mind, there's no doubt where you're coming from. The mystery will turn you on. Undress you with her eyes, uncover the truth from the lies, strip you down, don't need to care. Lights are low, exposed and bare, naked. Nothing but a smile upon her face, naked. She wants to play, seek and hide, no one to hide behind, naked. This child has, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so, Aries, some of you guys are getting naked this month. Or, you know, someone is getting naked with you, you're getting naked with someone, and you're smiling, and there's definitely something going on there. So, you know, got a little Spice Girls action. So, hawk, a messenger of the sky, circle my dream and teach me the message as we fly. Aries, this is Mercury, the messenger planet. Hawk medicine teaches you to be observant, to look into your surroundings. Observe the obvious in everything that you do, because life is sending you signals at this time, Aries. Life is the initiation. Ooh, life is the initiation, Aries. If you have pulled the hawk card, then right now is a clue about the magic of life that is being brought to you. It can imbue you with the power to overcome a currently stressful or difficult situation. The test is your ability to observe the nuance of power lurking nearby for you. Is power the talent you have that you aren't using, Aries? Are solutions always hard to find because you've lost the broader vision that the hawk sees from up above in the sky? Or is the Great Spirit displaying a gift that you need only to simply receive, and you are trying too hard? So Aries, now's the time to receive, to sit back, stop doing so much. Have the colors of the morning inspired you to create, or has the gloominess of a present situation left you earthbound, unable to hear the voice within the raindrops splashing on your window? Pay attention, Aries. You are only as powerful as your capacity to receive and perceive. You are only as powerful as your capacity to use your abilities. What is called for here is an intuitive ability to discern the message carried within the cry of the hawk, Aries. The shrillness of hawk's call pierces the state of unawareness and asks you to seek the truth because you know the truth within. The ancients recognized this magnificent bird of prey as a messenger bringing tidings to the earthwalk and the good red road. So red is going to be a really important color for you, Aries, as you step up and you claim that hawk energy. This could mark the coming of a warring tribe, the birth of a child, or the celebration of a counting coup. Hawk's cry signaled the need for the beholder to heighten awareness and to receive the message at this time. Hawk medicine is a totem that is filled with responsibility because hawk people see everything. Hawk is not the mouse who sees everything with through a magnifying glass. Hawk medicine people are aware of all the omens. They're aware of the messages from spirit. They are aware of the bridge, the color of the calling card you gave them 3 months ago. No detail slips by a hawk unnoticed. If hawk has circled and landed in your card spread, then you may be aware of signals in your life, so notice and receive at this time. Hawk may be teaching you to grab an opportunity that's coming your way. So I'm seeing like a hawk literally going through and like snatching a mouse. It's like you need to, you know, what is it? Something while the iron's hot, strike while the iron's hot, Aries. So there's going to be something that's just going to like go in front of you. You know, it's like you're like playing like the Mario video game up in the clouds, and you're like on that conveyor belt thing, and you're like running, and then like right when you get to the edge, you have to jump. There's a moment when you have to jump, and if you don't jump, then you're going to fall, and you're going to die, and you're going to lose that level. So Aries, make sure you jump whenever the opportunity hits you. From this vantage point, you may be able to discern the hazards which bar you from the freedom of flight. Remember that hawk has a keen eye and a bold heart. We do see that bold heart with Uranus here. So I feel like a lot of you guys have Taurus energy this month, like you're really feeling that grounded bull energy, but with the fire of Aries. Hawk flies close to the light of the grandfather sun, Aries. And then I feel some of you guys I have this elk energy in reverse, but some of you guys are working with someone, or someone wants to work with you because it's the energy of 3. So it's like someone wants to work with you, but you are like flying above them and you're like not about it. You are kind of wary of them. For some of you guys, this is also you and you're kind of going back and forth. If elk has appeared in the reverse position, you may be stretching the rubber to a breaking point, Aries. Be careful of undue stress levels, or you might just create an illness that forces you to take a break. On another hand, you may not be honoring your desire for companionship with the opposite sex, Aries. You may have forgotten the excitement of mating season, Aries. If this is the case, you may find that your best option is to invite friends of the opposite sex over for dinner or an afternoon outing. If this is not to say that you would be sexually interested in these friends. It is merely suggesting that the exchange of opposite energies is very rewarding and important for you at this time. So for some of my Aries, if you haven't been out and about, if you haven't been hanging out with the opposite sex, then this is Spirit telling you, go out there, stop flying around above everyone, and get yourself on Earth and start connecting with some people of the opposite gender, Aries. It's important for you at this time. If you are in a relationship, it may be that the honeymoon period is waning and you need to stir up the excitement. Persistently creating a change of pace is the kind of stamina needed for any relationship to last, Aries. In all cases, elk is telling you to look at how you choose to create your present pathway and how you intend to perpetrate its and reach your goal. Your best weapon is the same as elk's. Stop when you need to, persist when you need to, and allow room for change and always exchange energy. So this is about getting an equal energy exchange, Aries, and when things are kind of running dry, then have a conversation or change things up and get a little creative. So invite yourself to be more playful. Aries, sometimes you guys can be like really serious and really intense, so this is a time to kind of like invite that inner child. And then we have Porcupine. The south of the medicine wheel is the place of childlike innocence and humility. It is the home of playfulness, which I literally just said. So actually, maybe some of you guys, you are the porcupine. But for some of you guys, maybe your partner is more of the porcupine and they're like really playful and they let you become more playful, but you can be kind of like serious like this hawk. And if a hawk and a porcupine, I don't know. I like that the porcupine in here is playful. Porcupine has many special qualities. It's also a very powerful medicine of faith. The power of faith contains within the ability to move mountains. The power of trust in life involves trusting that Great Spirit always has a bigger plan, Aries. Your task is to find the pathway that is most beneficial for you and that uses your talents to further your plans. Trust can open doorways to the creation of space. The space thus created allows others to open their hearts to you and to share their gifts of love, joy, and companionship. So this is opening yourself, just like the other cards were saying, to receive. Aries, if you're not in a state to receive, then others can't give you their gifts of love, joy, and companionship. So this is someone who's like, I'm just trying to love on you, like I'm just trying to give to you, and you just have this like serious energy of the hawk, or vice versa. Or you guys kind of do this dance where you like take turns being one or the other, like one person kind of serious and like in their head and the other one's playful, and they're like, hey, I'm just trying to give to you, like why don't you receive right now? And then the other person's like, I'm busy, and then it goes like back and forth and you're kind of doing this dance, and so it ends up with this whole like elk is reversed 3 and reverse energy, Aries. Through understanding the basic nature of this animal, you may come to understand your own need for trust and faith and for becoming like a child again, Aries. So tap into that inner child, or whoever you're with needs to tap into their inner child. In today's society, this is a needed reminder to honor the wonder of life and the appreciation of each new day as an adventure and as a discovery. Porcupine sat silently, looking at a hollow log. She wondered if it was a playhouse that nature had created just for her. Porcupine envisioned all the things that she could do with the log. That just sounds sexual. Porcupine's over here imagining all the things that she can do with the log, you guys. So maybe time for you guys to do the same, because we have the elk in reverse over here. So some of you guys are not getting creative with what you can do with the log. So, you know, just saying. She could climb on top, ooh, and she can also make the log roll from side to side. She could go inside the log, Aries. She can see if there's any juicy worms for her inside that log. Ooh, you guys, this book right now though. She could also scratch her back on the rough outer bark if she wanted to. Just as Porcupine was pondering what to do next, she saw Bear approaching. Bear was big and black and looking for honey. Ooh, another playmate to share my log, she thought. "Hello, bear," she cooed. "Do you want to play and share my log with me?" Gruff old bear snorted. "Porcupine, don't you know that I'm too old to play? You're in my way. I'm looking for honey. Go away." This could kind of be the elk, this person, this bear, this like boring bear person in here. "Why, bear, you're never too old to play," she replied. "If you forget what it was like to be a cub, you'll always be impatient and gruff as you are now." Bear began to think about what Porcupine had said. Maybe she was right. All the other creatures had run away from Bear in fright. Even the other bears had turned up their nose when he growled at them. This little Porcupine was certainly trusting him not to eat her. She even offered to be his friend. The old bear looked at Porcupine and began to feel something move inside of him. He started to remember the games that he played as a cub. Joy started to live within him again. Aries, some of you guys are inspiring someone back into their heart, into that little child energy. Aries, some people are inspiring you back into your heart, and for some of you guys, you're doing this for each other, so we really like that. Little Porcupine, you have reminded me that in becoming strong and seeking answers, I got caught in trying to be intellectual all the time. I became afraid of what others would think if I dropped my mask. I was afraid they wouldn't take me seriously anymore. You've taught me that in being a fuddy-duddy, I was causing others not to care deeply for me. Thank you. I would love to play with you. And so it was that Bear became childlike again and learned the innocence of Porcupine. Whew. Honor the playfulness of spirit that lets everyone win and play. Open your heart to those things that gives you joy as a child. Remember the preciousness of fantasy and imagination. All right, Aries, I like these. So let's see what your tarot says. You are very, very important and very special. Though your body was made extravagant, it's like you're extra human. For you are a force of skin and nails and heart, a walking Monet. You are breathing art. Woo! Aries. Wow. Human, tank and the bangas. Alright, so you guys are definitely getting more intimate with someone, or they're getting more intimate with you. Someone is really seeing your heart here. They're seeing all of that. And I did see the Ace of Cups in your tarot in the pre-shuffle. I also saw the World in reverse. So I feel like you have multiple Ace of Cups offers, Aries. Like there's multiple offers on the table here. The World in reverse means something is coming around. But there's also something new here, and Aries, you're kind of standing in this like, I know my worth, I know what I deserve, and we see it's kind of like raining all this green. Green is money, so for some of my Aries, you're just like really stuck on your abundance and your stability. The Auric, the Uras, are all about stability. Right now, Aries, Four of Wands in reverse. So it's like the Four of Wands is here, which is all about happiness in a home, getting that partnership, creating the 4 pillars. You know, I think of the house is built on 4 pillars. We see a man driving his little phoenix bird around, and we see the reef up there and a red flag, but it's in reverse. So Aries, some of you guys, you're just not focused on a relationship right now. You're not focused on that. You're focused more on your stability. 9 of Swords is crossing you. Wow. So this is like the Nightmare card, and we see here she is in this jail cell, and she is clawing at the side, and she's in a lot of pain right now. So for a lot of my Aries, it's like your heart is locked up. It's been locked up for quite some time. I feel like for a lot of my Aries, you've been in this 9 of Swords phase for a very long time. It's like you wake up and you chop wood and carry water, but you've been chopping wood and carrying water for years now. You're like, when is this ever going to end? Is it ever, like, am I ever going to have this 4 of Wands? Am I ever going to have that relationship? Am I ever going to have a husband? Am I ever going to have a wife? Like, am I ever going to have the stability? Am I ever going to get my happiness? Like, where's mine? Like, and you're not complaining. You're not complaining at all. You're grateful, but at night, you see all these 9 swords in the shadows. It's like someone pulled one over on you, and because of that, you know, like you grew out of it wise as the hawk, and you're still able to be a playful little child. Or for some of you guys are playful as a little child, and you know, it's harder for you to wisen up and see the bigger picture, which is why you stay hurt. Others of you, you've definitely guarded your heart, and you've become sharp as a hawk, stealthy as a hawk, smart as this bull, and you've just put all of your focus on money. But when it comes to matters of your heart, it just really feels like a jail cell in there. It just feels like you're imprisoned by these brick walls, and you think of that 4 of Wands, you dream of it, but you're dreaming of it, you're wondering, like, is this ever gonna be mine? And she's making a fist with her right hand, and her left hand is open. So it's like the feminine wants to receive, but her masculine is not very open. And so For a lot of my ladies, you need to do work with your divine masculine within. We have the Emperor upright as your subconscious energy. Of course, Aries, this is you. Subconsciously, you're all about the Emperor. You're building your empire. So you're working on your coin, you're working on your business, you are working on, you're not going to be codependent no more by Melody Beatty. It's like, you're in a state, Aries, where you could have written that book, because you're not codependent anymore at all. Aries, you're in the state where you're just like, I'm the Emperor, this is how this goes, I know what I'm doing, I know what my mission is, you're on your mission, you're doing the damn thing, you are getting it. And he's also wearing all this armor. This could be a girl or guy. So this is for an Aries lady who's very firm, so maybe that's what the fist is in the Nine of Swords. It's like internally you're this hurting little girl, but you present yourself to the world like this strong Emperor, this strong bull, this Uriz, this Auric. And you're presenting yourself as a very strong energy. So because of that, that Four of Wands is there, because it's like, it's in reverse because people might be kind of nervous to approach you. You might just have like a really intense, strong energy, like you're just intense, Aries. But that's nothing to change, like that's a part of you. We have centering, staying calm, conserving your strength, finding patience and remaining aware of everything around you. So in that Emperor energy, ooh, High Priestess is what's crowning you. I like this, Aries. So High Priestess is also Pisces, so you guys might have the Piscean energy. But the High Priestess crowning you and the Emperor in your subconscious. So this is completely you. This is the masculine, the feminine. So for a lot of you guys, you're starting to work with the esoteric. You're working with Florida water, you're working with holy water, you're working with Reiki, you're working with crystals, you're working with the energy of the four directions, you're calling in the four directions, you're working with speaking light language, tongues, you're drawing symbols, you are dancing, you're singing, you're expressing yourself, you're tapping into your magical energy, Aries, you're manifesting, but you're also anchored in the material realm. You're actually getting out and communicating with people, you're building your business, you're building your empire, your masculine and your feminine is balanced, and because you're showing up here, Aries, as the Emperor and the High Priestess, you're mixing the fire and earth with the water and air, the ether, and you have the elements here, which is why definitely some of you guys are going to be having a substantial financial gain with Uriz here. This is looking really good for some of you guys. Some of you in your subconscious, you're thinking about this person. For some of my ladies, you're the High Priestess, and you're thinking about this Emperor. For some of my Aries men, you're this Emperor, and you see this woman, and you see her as the High Priestess. So it's like either way, there's a perfect match here, but there's also what your initial energy is, which is this Nine of Swords. You're still hurting. And even though you're in the last leg, the 9 is the finality. You're not yet to the 10, the review. Pisces hit their review. They're reviewing everything. But Aries, you're still in the 9. So you are at the end of it, and you're completely at the end of the cycle. But there's still something that needs to be let go here. That's why the Four of Wands is in reverse. It's still present. Let's see what your past energy is. The Tower, of course, Aries. This is why you're in the Nine of Swords energy, because you still feel like you're stuck in that tower. You still feel like you're stuck in that tower. But see, here's the joke, Aries. You're the hawk. A hawk can always fly out of that tower. Doesn't matter how high up the windows are. You can fly right out. High Priestess, she can just do her magic. She can teleport out. She can call her dragon to her. Her dragon can bring her out. You don't have to fall from that tower, Aries, and you also don't have to stay stuck inside. I will say, with the tower, we see a single man walking up to it. So some of my Aries, it's almost like a part of you is just like the Kid Cudi song at the beginning. You're in my dreams, in my dreams. I can go anywhere, I can do anything. Someone is like staying in their dream world, but their dream world is actually a prison, and you're kind of hoping and waiting for someone to return. Like, you don't want them to return, but a part of you is still waiting for them to return. Like, a very small part of your subconscious is still waiting. That's why the Four of Wands is in reverse, because it's like anyone who approaches you now, even if the perfect Emperor like approaches you now, there's like a small slice of you that's still stuck in this tower moment of the past, Like you're still stuck here, and the key to getting out of there is, yes, actually going to be in some, whatever this financial gain is, whatever this growth is, whatever this healing is from Uranus, because it's like raining a green energy. We have the Chariot in reverse. So you guys have an opportunity to move, but you're like digging your heels in. This also could be you turning down a Cancer. In this Chariot in reverse, I feel like it's almost like Aries, you feel like things are going too fast. You have 3 horses, so this is all about someone that's wanting to create partnership, build with you, bring passion. 3s are all about the beginning of a foundation, the beginning of a new relationship, the beginning of a new job, and the horses are all about passion and power and like intimacy and vulnerability and just very passionate. And for some of my Aries, it's like, whoa, 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 too much. Like 4 of Wands in reverse, Chariot in reverse. It's like the Chariot and the 4 of Wands is here, Aries. Like if you're a guy, it's like the High Priestess is here and she's arrived on this Chariot with the 4 of Wands. Like she is here. She's like, hello, let's do this. And for my ladies, you know, the Emperor is here and he's arrived on the Chariot with the 4 of Wands. He's like, hello, I'm here for you. But Aries, a lot of you guys are this 9 of Swords in the Tower. But this is your past energy, Aries, but you're stuck. Some of you guys are still, something of you is still stuck in the past. You're still stuck here. And this is in your mind. This is all in the mind. And your heart is working so hard to be free. Think of that porcupine energy, Aries. Porcupine, that's a 12, and it adds up to a 3. So, and then elk is a 3, so it's all about working together. 2s and 3s, lots of building foundation. So you guys can see 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, building numbers like this. Okay, your path energy like this is Knight of Cups. So some of you Aries are, because this is you, he's a centaur, half man, half horse, or she's centaur, half man, half woman, half horse. So this is definitely all about tapping into the energy of the horse. So for some of you guys, you're like, the Chariot is a little too much. It's like going full horse is a little too much. It's like, can I just go halvesies? Can I just go halvesies? Because this isn't a king, this isn't a queen energy. So for a lot of my Aries, like you just don't want to take things too seriously. You are curious. You're curious and you're going to open yourself up, but just like a bit at a time. Ooh, who you're dealing with is the Hangman in reverse. I do like that he's in reverse because I feel like in reverse he's cutting himself down. But also the Hangman in reverse could be someone that's just like in a really chaotic place in life and they just feel really imbalanced. The Hangman is also a very spiritual card. It's also someone who's not doing anything. So the Hangman upright is someone who's just kind of stuck in limbo and they're just kind of like waiting. They're just waiting. In reverse, this person is no longer waiting. So you are no longer waiting either because you're the Knight of Cups. You're galloping towards someone on your 4 hooves. And the Hangman is no longer waiting. He's in reverse. He's cut himself down and he's going to make communication here. However, the Chariot is in reverse. So maybe he's just thinking about communication. Hopes, dreams, and fears is 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like a lot of you guys are in the 5 of Pentacles. You or the person you're dealing with is in like a money situation. It's like you're more poor now than you're used to being. And so for a lot of you guys, the 4 of Wands is in reverse because you feel like you can't focus on a relationship because your money is not right in the spot where you want it to be for you to enter a relationship. You want your money to be better before you enter a relationship. Outcome is very interesting here. We have 4 of Cups, Ace of Swords, and 2 of Wands. So as we know, 4 of Cups is longing. He has all these love offers. The only love offer he wants is the one that got away, the one that he can't have. She's up here, she's gold, she's all in gold, she's holding the cup. That's like the unreachable cup. He's never gonna reach this cup. You know, he's like messed up. I feel like he is sitting in the tower drinking. So for some of you guys, your past situation, it's like she's in one room of the tower thinking about all the nightmares of this relationship, of everything that went down, and like the guy is in the other room just drinking himself silly. He's sitting here with all these empty cups, they're spilled. He's definitely drinking. So some of my Aries, you're dealing with someone who has a drinking issue or you have a drinking issue. There's definitely drinking going on here. That's avoidant behavior. I feel like that has to tie in with the Hangman. We also have the Ace of Swords, which is telling truth. There's going to be communication here. And the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands in this deck is all about travel. Again, like we already talked about Aries, 2s are all about bringing things into balance. You can either be balancing or you can be juggling. So Aries, make sure that you're not juggling, make sure that you're balancing, bringing things into balance. He's looking at the map and he's deciding where he's going to go. This is when that Chariot card is coming in hot, Aries. With you being the Knight of Cups, with you being the Emperor, Aries, with you being the High Priestess, all of these cards were upright. So I like this. You're going to be curious, you're going to be open towards love. The Emperor and the High Priestess, your intuition is on point this month, Aries. Your financial gain is on point. Your Empire is on point, Aries. But there is something here mentally that needs to be dealt with. Any sort of somatic healing, trauma release, TRE therapy, anything where you can just talking to people, journaling more, write, make art. Make art with the pain, Aries. Make music with the pain, dance with the pain. You have to get it out of your system, because for a lot of you guys, it's just plaguing your dreams, and it's going to keep plaguing your dreams so long as you're not dealing with it, Aries. So it needs to be dealt with. That's what's keeping you in this limbo, in this Five of Pentacles, but it is in reverse because you are just sick of being in this space. You're sick of being in this, like, 1 week it's good, 1 week it's bad. It's like you're stuck in this rut, or who you're dealing with is stuck in this rut. And that's why they're in the Hangman position, but they are in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles is in reverse. So I feel like someone's definitely getting themselves unstuck. And Aries, you definitely are, because you're the Knight of Cups. You're galloping on through. You are definitely thinking of moving here, and you're going to communicate with someone some truthful thing. Ace of Swords is going to be, could be a beginning offer. Aces are usually beginnings. It's also offerings. So someone is going to communicate here. You could get a job offer that is asking you to move. You could get a relationship offer that's asking you to move. You could be getting offers from all these things, and you're thinking about it and you're excited about them. But again, for a lot of you guys, you're still dreaming about the person who got away, or they're dreaming about you who got away. Someone feels like someone got away, but the Four of Cups, you guys, is like someone, this is what I like to think about, Aries. Every time that I look back in my relationships, I see clear as day, they're like, there's 3 guys that I really thought I would never get over, like ever. I was like, oh my god, I'm always gonna like, yes, parts of me still have love for them, but like I really don't love them at all like I thought that I always would. I really don't. And so Aries, this is one of those situations where you just don't feel like you're ever gonna like love that deeply again. You don't feel like you're ever gonna feel that way again, and it's just not true. It's just not true. And so for whoever's like sitting and sulking and thinking that, they need to cut that shit out, because it's not true. It's not true. You have the Four of Wands here, you have the Chariot here, you have the Two of Wands, you have this Ace of Swords, you have all these offers, you're the Knight of Cups, the Emperor and the High Priestess, Aries. Like, you have everything you need to manifest this. So I love you guys, and I'll see you shortly for the end of the month.